those. So first up, I have this Spencer Tracy, Katharine Hepburn DVD set. It has Woman of the Year, Adam's Rib, and Pat and Mike. It also has this special DVD all about Spencer Tracy and Katharine Hepburn and their legacy. And these two were pure magic together on screen. They were a couple in real life, if you don't know. They are kind of the epitome of classic movies. So two of the finest actors to ever grace the screen. I love all their movies. I haven't seen them that much, so I can't talk about them as much, but I do love them. But my favorite with them is actually not in this set. My favorite with them is actually Desk Set. This is a movie that it's set at Christmas time, and it's a pretty funny concept because they are like a research department, and Spencer Tracy comes in with a computer who says, you know, this computer can do your job, basically. Even back then, they had movies about that sort of thing. And what's interesting is that this movie, the screenplay is by Phoebe and Henry Ephron, who are the mother and father of Nora and Delia Ephron of, you know, You've Got Mail and Sleepless in Seattle fame. So that was really interesting. When I rewatched this, I did not know that, and that was a fun tidbit to find out. Next, I have another Spencer Tracy favorite. This one is Father of the Bride with Elizabeth Taylor and Joan Bennett. Now, the remake of this movie is wonderful, and I love it just as much as this one. But I do love this version. It's very sweet-natured. Spencer Tracy is wonderful in it as like this grumpy, reluctant to let go of his daughter father. He's just one of the most natural actors ever, and naturally funny, and you know, he could be really warm and loving, and he really is in this movie, and this one's one of my favorites. Next up, I have The Philadelphia Story with Katharine Hepburn, Cary Grant, and Jimmy Stewart. This movie is just incredible, such a classic. It's classic by its time period, but it's classic also for its story, its acting, its lessons. It's so funny, but also has the important amount of drama in it. And everyone in this is at the top of their game. Jimmy Stewart won an Oscar for his role. I mean, you can't go wrong with a cast like this. And this has a wonderful print of it. It has audio commentary and documentaries about the making of the movie. This is a wonderful DVD set and a wonderful movie. Next up, I have My Favorite Wife with Cary Grant and Irene Dunne. This is going to be my Cary Grant section of movies. This is a sweet movie. Cary Grant is about, actually, he gets married, and not knowing that the wife he believed was dead was actually not dead, and she comes back and obviously complicates matters, and they have 2 kids. So it's it has some heart to it, but it's also very much kind of a screwball comedy, and it's really great. Speaking of screwball comedies, we have one of the quintessential screwball comedies of this era. It's Bringing Up Baby with Katharine Hepburn and Cary Grant. These two were so great together on screen. Wonderful chemistry, wonderful comedic chemistry. I mean, this is one of the funniest movies ever made. What's interesting is, if you don't know, Baby is actually Katharine Hepburn's pet leopard. And you see it right there. And her character is so funny because she's just kind of ditzy and ridiculous, but sweet-natured, and he is just exasperated at everything she does, but it's just one of those madcap comedies, and I really love it. Next up, we have another one with Cary Grant and Katharine Hepburn. This one is called Holiday. And this one, you know, I like to collect as many movies as I can, especially older movies. And believe it or not, this is one I haven't watched yet. But I hear that it is a very funny movie, and I really can't wait to watch it. Next up, we have another Cary Grant comedy. This one is called Arsenic and Old Lace. It is a Frank Capra movie, but this is definitely a dark, offbeat comedy, and that's kind of why I love it. Supposedly, Cary Grant does not like his performance in this movie, but I just have to disagree with him because I think he is so funny because he's definitely very over the top, but rightly so because of what's going on in this movie. He just gets married and he visits his two aunts and finds a dead body in the window seat because these two aunts are a little bit off their rockers, as they say back in the day. They believe what they're doing is merciful, but and then his cousin comes back and he's played by Raymond Massey, but he looks like Boris Karloff, and he's very, very scary, and Peter Lorre is also in this movie. It is so funny. It's very quirky, and has lots of slapstick comedy in it. I just love this movie. Next up, we have The Awful Truth with Cary Grant and Irene Dunne. This is another, definitely one of those screwball comedies. Very funny. Irene Dunne is just adorable in this movie. I haven't watched it in a really long time, so I'm kind of forgetting a lot of it, but it is a good movie. Next up is Every Girl Should Be Married. Now, this movie stars Cary Grant and his wife at the time, Betsy Drake. It's a very old-fashioned movie because, you know, it's about talking about how most girls just, they want to find a husband. And so it's definitely of its era, but I think it's really sweet, and I like it quite a lot. The next one is The Bachelor and the Bobby Soxer. This one also has Myrna Loy and Shirley Temple. This is another one, definitely a screwball comedy. And Cary Grant was so good in those, and this one is another one that is just hilarious. I love Myrna Loy and Shirley Temple in this. Shirley Temple has a crush on him, but of course she's way too young for him. And no matter what he says, she just won't listen, but he really prefers Shirley Temple's older sister, played by Myrna Loy, and it's adorable. It's so funny, and there is dialogue in it which I won't even try to repeat, but if you have seen the movie Labyrinth, there is a song that is definitely a takeoff of some dialogue from this movie, so that is a fun little fact. Next up, another one of Cary Grant's classics. This is His Girl Friday with Rosalind Russell. Funny enough, even though this is one of his most famous movies, I didn't see it until a couple of years ago. And it definitely has that screwball comedy element, but this also has a lot of dramatic moments, which I was not anticipating. And it's still a really good movie. It's just funny how it's characterized strictly as a comedy when it definitely is not. Next up, I have one of my absolute favorites with Cary Grant, Mr. Blandings Builds His Dream House, with Myrna Loy and Melvin Douglas. This movie is hilarious. It is the perfect movie to relate to if you've ever had problems finding a home you love, or renovating, or doing repairs on a home, and how expensive and difficult it can be. You can relate to this movie. It's sweet-natured. It's funny. It's one I love quoting all the time, especially because Myrna Loy is so particular about everything she wants in the house. She wants a specific kind of paint color, and it's ridiculous. And she wants, you know, every daughter to have their own separate bathroom, and it's completely impractical, but it's just fun to watch, and it makes me want to have a house in Connecticut too, even with all the problems they come upon. Next up is In Name Only. This is another one I got because I'm trying to collect as many as possible. This one is a drama. Now, my mother has seen this, and she said she really enjoyed it, but I have not watched this one yet. But I think it's definitely a romantic movie, so and a drama. So I look forward to watching this one. Next up is Room for One More. This is another one Cary Grant starred in with his wife at the time, Betsy Drake. This is a very heartwarming family movie about a couple who keep adopting children. Basically, they keep saying there's room for one more, there's room for one more, and some of these children have problems, so it definitely has some moments that will tug at your heartstrings, but it's very sweet-natured. I really love it. Next up we have The Talk of the Town. This one has Jean Arthur and Ronald Colman. This is kind of one of those comedy-drama combos. I really love it. Cary Grant's particularly good in it, as is Jean Arthur. I've only seen it once, but I remember I really liked it. It has wonderful messages in this movie about, you know, I'm trying to remember the plot, and I'm at a loss for words. My mind's kind of going blank. But it is a good movie, and like I said, it has good messages in it. Next up, I have Topper and Topper Returns. This is just a silly little movie. Cary Grant is a ghost with Constance Bennett, and he makes these people's lives miserable, basically. But it's a really silly, fun movie. Next up, I have An Affair to Remember. This is another very famous one that I didn't see for a very long time, but I kind of knew it from a very famous scene in Sleepless in Seattle where Rita Wilson is describing the movie and how romantic and dramatic it is and how much it makes her cry. And when I watched it, I finally understood what she was talking about. It's very melodramatic, but it is a lovely movie, and especially the ending. It's very, it has a very 1950s feel. Beautiful music, but beautiful performances from Cary Grant and Deborah Kerr, and it is a beautiful romantic movie. Next up, we have Father Goose. This is probably my favorite Cary Grant movie, and what's funny is, it is the first movie I ever saw with him, so it is a movie we had a VHS tape of growing up. And it's actually, I believe it is Cary Grant's last movie. And, or no, it's not Cary Grant's last movie. But it's one of the first movies he played kind of against type, where he was used to being these debonair parts. And in this movie, he is a man who's very gruff and grumpy and drinks too much and isn't always nice. But this movie is so funny. Leslie Caron is in it as well. And he plays a man who, during the war, he gets basically a job being a lookout for enemy planes. So he has a radio there, and he will radio anytime he sees an enemy plane. And Leslie Caron is a teacher in charge of a group of young girls who get stranded on another island, and he goes and rescues them, and they clash a lot about how to do things when they get back to his island, and it's funny with all the young kids. And this is a movie I love to quote because there is a moment where they have silly names for each other, and at one point, because the two fall in love, the man he's always radioing says, oh, they're together, Goody Two Shoes and the Filthy Beast, because that's what they call each other. This is a movie I love to quote over and over again, because it's just so darn funny. the two of them are wonderful together on screen. And I see this. I didn't remember this. It won the Academy Award for Best Story and Screenplay, and rightly so. It is a terrific movie. And finally, my last, I do have another Cary Grant movie, but I organize them in a specific way. So I have a couple other Cary Grant movies, but they do not go in this like comedy drama section. So the last movie of this sort that I have with Cary Grant is Operation Petticoat, and it also has Tony Curtis. Just a silly, fun comedy from the 60s, and I know Tony Curtis was so happy to finally make a movie with Cary Grant because he was his idol. And what's funny is at one point, the submarine they're on is painted pink accidentally, and that's a funny moment. This movie's really cute, and if you like sort of wartime movies and wartime movies that are like comedies, you will enjoy this one. Next up, I have a few movies with Tony Curtis again. The first one is 40 Pounds of Trouble. Now, this is my favorite movie with Tony Curtis and one of my all-time favorite movies. One, because it's just a very cute comedy. Tony Curtis plays a manager of a casino, and at a private poker game, one of the men loses a bunch of money, and he says, I don't have enough, but I can go get some. So he leaves, and unbeknownst to Tony Curtis, he left behind his 5-year-old daughter at the hotel. And the man doesn't return, so they are wondering, what do we do with this little child? So Tony Curtis's character takes care of the little girl, and with the help of the new nightclub singer played by Suzanne Pleshette. And it's very funny and sweet-natured, adorable. But what also makes this special is this was the first movie to ever be filmed inside Disneyland in California. So there is an entire sequence, it's probably about 20 minutes long, of the characters at Disneyland, because all this little girl wanted to do was go to Disneyland. That was her dream. So he wants to make that happen for her. And there's a chase throughout the park because Tony Curtis was not supposed to leave the state because of problems with his ex-wife. So this movie's hilarious, and for any Disneyland fan or someone who loves Disney history or Disneyland history, you might not know this movie. You know, it's kind of a lesser-known movie, but if you love Disneyland, you need to watch this because it is a perfect time capsule for the park at that time. Though there are some moments that were not very realistic as far as where he was running, but other than that, it's terrific, and I love this movie so much. I always recommend it to people, especially if you love Tony Curtis, you love sweet comedies, and if you love Disneyland and want to see more things with the early days in the park. And because I love this movie so much, I wanted to get it on Blu-ray, and the only way to get it on Blu-ray was with this Tony Curtis collection. So I got this collection, and yes, it has 40 Pounds of Trouble on Blu-ray, and I'm happy to have, one of my all-time favorite movies on Blu-ray. It's nice to have this cute cover as well, which is one of the movie posters. It does have an audio commentary by a film historian. I was actually a little disappointed with the commentary. I thought it would be more about the movie and the making of, but oftentimes they would go off on funny tangents, so that's not the best, but the print of the movie is wonderful, and I'm happy to have it on Blu-ray. The other two movies that came with it are The Great Imposter with Edmund O'Brien and Carl Malden, as well as The Perfect Furlough with Janet Leigh. And if you don't know, Janet Leigh and Tony Curtis were married for a time. So I haven't seen either one of these movies yet because this was a pretty recent purchase, but I definitely want to watch them pretty soon because I am a big fan of Tony Curtis. The next movie I have with him is Sex and the Single Girl. This also has Natalie Wood, Henry Fonda, Lauren Bacall, and Mel Ferrar. if you recall, when I went through my romantic comedies, Down with Love is definitely an homage to this movie. The plot is almost identical to it because Natalie Wood, has the same kind of attitude that Renee Zellweger's character has in that movie. And he's pretending to be someone he's not. And it's very, very 60s in its coloring, acting, tone, zaniness, attitudes. But it's very, very funny. And the ending in particular has this really long car chase that ends up just being really hilarious. It's just a really fun movie, and if you've never seen it, it can be hard to find. I recommend just buy the DVD, because if you like movies like this and these actors, you will love it. Next up, I have probably his most famous movie, Some Like It Hot, with Jack Lemmon and Marilyn Monroe. This is just one of those perfect comedy movies. Everyone in it is at the top of their game as far as their comedic chops. Marilyn Monroe is very funny in this movie, and obviously just she was one of the most beautiful women ever. And if you don't know the story, Jack Lemmon and Tony Curtis witness a murder, so to flee for their lives, they pretend to be women and join an all-female jazz band. But then when they meet Marilyn Monroe, Tony Curtis is so taken with her that he dresses like himself and tries to romance her, while Jack Lemmon remains dressed like a woman the whole time and is funny enough romanced by a man, even though he's straight in the movie. But it's definitely a silly movie, but also so smart. It's directed by Billy Wilder, has a perfect screenplay, a really funny final line, and it's just a great movie. And the last movie I have with Tony Curtis is Houdini. This is another movie he made with Janet Leigh, and this is a dramatic movie because it's about the life of Harry Houdini and the woman he fell in love with. And it's obviously kind of, a glossed over, kind of looked at Harry Houdini's life, as most movies of this era are. But it's also, it's very good. It's very well done. And I haven't seen it in a really long time. I'm due for a rewatch. But it is one of the best movies the two of them made together. I'm back on another day, because again, this collection's pretty large, but the next ones in my classic section are kind of random, a bit of an eclectic mix of comedies and dramas. Some are favorites, some I've seen, some I haven't seen yet because they were gifts and whatnot. But the first one is Going My Way with Bing Crosby. The Bells of St. Mary's is a sequel to this movie. Bing Crosby plays a priest named Father O'Malley, and he's just a kind, a jovial kind of person. And I actually like The Bells of St. Mary's a little better than this movie, but this one is very sweet. It won lots of Oscars, and Bing Crosby won the Oscar for Best Actor. Next up is Boys Town with Spencer Tracy and Mickey Rooney. I believe this is based on a true story, and yeah, Spencer Tracy is wonderful in this movie. He plays a priest as well, and this is a very touching, heartfelt movie, and I recommend checking it out. Next up, I have Angels in the Outfield. Now, a lot of people know Angels in the Outfield from the 90s, the Disney movie. This is technically the original. That movie's, the plot is quite different. This one involves a different team. It's not the Angels, it's actually the Pirates. And the manager prays for guidance because his team is doing so poorly. And Janet Leigh plays a reporter. Excuse the noise in the background there. She plays a reporter, and there is a little orphan girl who had also prayed on behalf of the pirates, and it's very, very sweet. This cover art is very odd because Janet Leigh at no point in the movie is wearing anything like this, but I think they would do this, you know, back in the day to entice viewers, you know, because she is obviously a lovely woman. But it suggests that this is kind of a sexy movie, but it's not at all. It's very, very wholesome, and I recommend checking out this one. If you like the 90s version, you'll probably like this one too. Next I have Sitting Pretty. Now this is the Mr. Belvedere character, and if you were an 80s kid, you will remember the Mr. Belvedere TV show. This is fairly different. Clifton Webb plays Mr. Belvedere, and he's sort of similar. He's, you know, a stuffy British man who comes to help take care of this family's children. The parents are played by Robert Young and Maureen O'Hara. The kids in this are really rambunctious but sweet and cute, and Clifton Webb is really good as this really persnickety character. The supporting cast is good, especially Richard Hayden. And it's nice to see Robert Young in a movie like this before he became the father on Father Knows Best. And this is just a nice movie. Next up I have another cute family comedy. This is The Courtship of Eddie's Father. This later became a TV show, but this one has Glenn Ford, Shirley Jones, Stella Stevens, Dina Merrill, and little Ron Howard. And Ron Howard is just so adorable and precocious, and he wants to find his father a wife, and but he has very particular opinions about the kind of woman he thinks his father should date. It's really, really funny, and I love all the cast in it. It's sweet, and this one's pretty wholesome as well. Next up I have a set. This is called Icons of Screwball Comedy. Has 4 classic films: Theodora Goes Wild, Together Again, The Doctor Takes a Wife, and A Night to Remember. And I think I've only seen Theodora Goes Wild and The Doctor Takes a Wife, but it has been a really long time. I need to rewatch these movies. Next up is The Beautiful Blonde from Bashful End, and this is one I have not watched. It was a Christmas gift from a family member because they know I like classic movies, but Betty Grable's great, so I'm sure I will enjoy this. Next up I have 2 more movies that were gifts, so I haven't watched them yet. Midnight with Claudette Colbert and Donna Michi, and Easy Living with Jean Arthur and Edward Arnold and Ray Milland. These are romantic comedies as far as I know. I haven't watched them yet, but I like all those actors, so I think I will enjoy those. Next up I have an all-time favorite. This is Bachelor Mother with from the great year 1939. It has Ginger Rogers and David Dimon and Charles Coburn in just the scene-stealing part. This is one of the cutest movies ever made. I'm always so tempted, actually, to put it in my top 5 on Letterboxd of all-time favorite movies. It's actually a movie, funny enough, the first time I watched it was on the Disney Channel. You know, back in the day, they didn't always play strictly Disney things on their content. And it's possible, though, because they have a Donald Duck toy, a wind-up toy in this movie, is maybe why they aired this movie. But this is about Ginger Rogers plays a lonely shop girl. She gets dismissed right after the Christmas season from her job. But on her lunch break, she sees a little baby being left at a family home and is afraid the baby is going to roll off the steps. So she goes to pick it up, and they open the door, and then they think that she is the mother leaving the child. And no matter what she says, they just don't believe her, especially when they find out who she is and that she lost her job. So they contact David Niven, who is her boss at the department store, and they can say, you don't have to be afraid. You have job security. You can raise your child in peace and security, and lots of other mishaps and mistaken situations and romance and humor just abound in this movie. Ginger Rogers gets a chance to show off her dancing skills and her comedic skills. David Niven is so adorable and charming. This movie I love to quote endlessly. It is a movie I tend to watch it every single New Year's Eve, because there is a significant scene that takes place during New Year's Eve when the two of them go out to several parties of dancing, and then they go to Times Square during midnight. It's really fun. It's really cute. The little baby in it is so adorable, and Ginger Rogers is so sweet and natural with the baby. And like I said, Charles Coburn gives a scene-stealing performance. He is adorable too. This is a favorite for everyone who knows this movie. If you've never seen it, you really need to watch it. Next up I have Lily. This is kind of an odd movie, to say the least, but for some reason I've always been drawn to it. It's a drama, kind of almost like a family movie, slightly childlike, but then also serious. Lily is a young woman, but I'm not sure how old she's supposed to be, but her father dies and she's all alone, so she goes to work for a baker, but he turns out to be not a nice person. So she kind of follows these people to a local fair, kind of like a Little Us puppy, and she hopes to get a job there at the carnival. And then at one point she considers doing something drastic, but then a man who does a puppet show sees that and starts talking to her through the puppets to help her. And that sort of brings out her personality, her joy, and so it's romantic, it's sweet. The puppets are kind of funny, but for some reason, I just really like this movie. It also has Mel Ferrer and Zsa Zsa Gabor. If you like movies of this era and you enjoy Leslie Caron, I think you should give this movie a chance. It's just cute. Next up this is called The Happy Road. This is a movie with Gene Kelly, but is not a musical. It's one of the few non-musicals he made. This is just a comedic movie. Gene Kelly plays a single father, and his son goes to a school in France, and he finds out that his son and another little girl who goes to the school have run away. So he meets the little girl's mother, and they go on the road trying to find their children. So it goes back and forth between Gene Kelly and the French actress. I'm trying to remember her name. I'm not sure which one it is. And then the two little kids. It's really adorable. If you're a fan of Gene Kelly, I recommend checking it out. But because he does have his nice personality and charisma on screen, even though it's not a musical. It's just a fun movie. Lots of fun misunderstandings and moments, and I really like it. Next up is When Ladies Meet. This has Joan Crawford, Robert Taylor, and Greer Garson. This is a movie I know I watched, but it was a really long time ago, so I don't really remember it well. But this cast is fantastic, so what's not to like? This is another one. I have quite a few of these Warner Archives. So this is another one that I haven't actually watched yet. But it is called The Locket. It has Lorraine Day, Brian Ahern, Robert Mitchum, Gene Raymond. It is a romantic movie. I really look forward to watching this. Next I have The Enchanted Cottage. This is a romantic drama. Very lovely, really wonderful lessons in this about that beauty is definitely in the eye of the beholder, and that sometimes people who you think maybe are plain become more beautiful when you fall in love with them. It's just, it's a really beautiful film, very touching, and it has Dorothy McGuire and Robert Young. And I recommend this one as well. Next up I have Goodbye, Mr. Chips. Iconic classic movie about a teacher who touches the lives of his students. This one has Robert Donat and Greer Garson. Famously, Robert Donat won Best Actor at the Academy Awards, and it was a kind of an upset because he beat out Clark Gable in Gone with the Wind. So that was, a big deal at the time, but he deserved it. This is a wonderful movie, and he gives a wonderful performance. Next up, I have 12 Angry Men. This is one of the highest rated movies of all time, and for good reason. It is absolutely compelling and riveting. I watched it for the first time actually last year, and it is about a jury and their deliberations on a murder trial where all of them have seemed to have made up their mind that the person is guilty, but Henry Fonda's character wants to deliberate a bit more and go over the facts because he is not convinced. And it's really, really interesting. It really showcases the way democracy should be and the way every jury deliberation should be, because you need to discuss everything thoroughly. And it reveals some interesting things about each character. It's amazing because it basically, almost the entire film takes place just in the jury room with just these characters. And yet it's never boring. On the contrary, it's always really compelling. Next up I have, this is H.M. Pullum ESQ, I think that's Esquire. This is another one I picked up because I like the actors, but I have not watched it yet. It has Hedy Lamarr, Robert Young, and Ruth Hussey, and Charles Coburn, and Van Heflin, and Benita Granville. But I look forward to watching this. This is a dramatic movie. Next up is The Clock. This has Judy Garland and Robert Walker. This is a movie that is not a musical, even though it has Judy Garland in it. It is a romantic wartime drama. It's black and white. Judy Garland and Robert Walker meet by chance, and he's a soldier, and they sort of fall in love, and over a 2-day period. It's really lovely. If you are a fan of Judy Garland, you really should watch this movie because she gives really a beautiful performance, and Robert Walker is wonderful as well. He's one of those actors. He was so good, and he died way too young, which is quite sad. But this is a nice movie to have to showcase what a terrific actor he was. Next up I have, this is Little Women. This is one of 2 Little Women versions I own. This one it's not as good as the one from the 1990s, but it is really sweet and cute. I absolutely love the cast. It has June Allison, Peter Lawford, Margaret O'Brien, Elizabeth Taylor, Janet Leigh, Rosanna Brazzi, and Mary Astor. Everyone's really great in their parts, but I definitely love June Allison's very distinct way of playing Jo, and Margaret O'Brien is a wonderful choice for Beth. She just brings her very her absolute sweetness and undeniable presence to the part, and I like Peter Lawford as Laurie as well. Next I have Here Comes Mr. Jordan. This is just a really touching, beautiful movie. It is about a boxer who is basically reincarnated in someone else's body. And it has Robert Montgomery and Claude Rains. And I haven't watched it in such a long time. But the movie Heaven Can Wait with Warren Beatty is actually a remake of this movie. And both are wonderful movies. Next up, I have some more comedies and dramas. I've sort of organized them by actor, and the first set here I have is the premiere Frank Capra collection. This has American Madness, which I admittedly have not watched, but the other ones in this collection are some of my absolute favorite films of all time. It has It Happened One Night, Mr. Deeds Goes to Town, You Can't Take It With You, and Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. I'm going to show what the set looks like. So there we have the director, Frank Capra. And we can see that is from Mr. Smith Goes to Washington there. And, oh, it looks like the disc is missing. But It Happened One Night is one of my favorite romantic comedies. It has Clark Gable and Claudette Colbert. That was like kind of like the original quintessential rom-com, and every romantic comedy that has come since basically took a page out of that film's screenplay. It is famously the first movie to win the 5 big Oscars. It won Best Picture, Director, Screenplay, and Best Actor and Actress. And it's delightful, it's sweet, so funny. They do give wonderful performances. I love the moment where Claudette Colbert decides to put out her leg to hitchhike, and that's just such an iconic moment. Mr. Deeds Goes to Town is such a sweet-natured, really moving film. It has Gary Cooper in it and Jean Arthur, and his character is very wealthy and very eccentric, and they start to doubt his sanity, and when the reality is he just is very generous and quirky, and like I said, it's very poignant, and I recommend it. You Can't Take It With You has Jimmy Stewart and Jean Arthur and one of the Barrymores. I don't recall which one. Does it say? I think it might be Lionel Barrymore. And just a lovely family movie. I really love it. And Mr. Smith Goes to Washington is compelling and so meaningful, especially, in this modern day and age where politics are so divisive. Jimmy Stewart gives a phenomenal performance. The movie is so thoughtful and thought-provoking and really, really moving. Now, this set also comes with this movie scrapbook, and you can see it has a quote from Frank Capra: "When I see a crowd, I see a collection of free individuals, each a unique person, each a king or queen, each a story that would fill a book, each an island of human dignity." And all his films really just embody such wonderful morals and lessons, and about the beauty of humanity and the dangers of corruption, and all sorts of themes like that. And I love Frank Capra's movies. They are, like I said, very meaningful and poignant, and this is a really nice keepsake. Next up I have some more movies with James Stewart. I call him Jimmy Stewart. This is The Shop Around the Corner, one of my absolute favorite movies. Such a sweet-natured romantic movie. It takes place mostly at Christmas time. You've Got Mail is a remake of this movie. But this one, even though it's a comedy, but it also is a drama as well. It has some moments that are quite dark, involving their boss at the local goods store, played by Frank Morgan. And yeah, it's about 2 people who work in a store in Budapest, and unbeknownst to them, they are anonymous pen pals. And in real life, they do not get along very well. So yeah, if you know You've Got Mail, you'll know the basic premise of this movie. But Jimmy Stewart is so fantastic in this part. So charming and lovely, and Margaret Sullivan is good as well. The 2 of them together are great. Next up I have, this is another one that I bought just so I could have more archive collection DVDs. It is called Come Live With Me, with Jimmy Stewart and Hedy Lamarr, but this one I have not watched yet because it's a very recent purchase. Next up I have No Time for Comedy. This is with Jimmy Stewart and Rosalind Russell. He is a playwright. She is his wife, and basically it's about the ups and downs in a relationship while someone is trying to write a play, and it's cute. It's certainly not the best in Jimmy Stewart's filmography, but I actually really enjoyed it. I only have watched it once, but I think it's just a fun and cute movie. Next up I have Vivacious Lady. Now, this is one of my absolute favorite movies with Jimmy Stewart because it pairs him with Ginger Rogers, and the two of them are simply adorable together. They have such wonderful chemistry. I am sad that they did not make more movies together because they would have made another great frequent pairing, but it's possible. It's because of the time period it came out in. This is from the 30s, I believe, and, you know, soon Jimmy Stewart would enter World War II. So it's a cute movie. It's basically these two meet and get married very quickly. He is a professor and she is a dancer at a restaurant, and she is worried that his very smart, collegiate family will not like her. But they're absolutely crazy about each other. So it's about the pressures of family, and this movie has lots of really funny moments. Ginger Rogers has a really funny moment with an ex-girlfriend of Jimmy Stewart's in particular. And like I said, these two have such great romantic chemistry. Next up, I have some movies with Debbie Reynolds. This is The Affairs of Dobie Gillis. A lot of people know the Dobie Gillis show from the 1950s, but this came first. This is an adorable movie. It has Bobby Van and a really, really young Bob Fosse, and the two of them are fantastic dancers, and there is quite a few dance numbers in this movie. Debbie Reynolds is adorable. It's super young. I think might be the same year or right before Singing in the Rain, so she's just so cute, and it's about these kids at college. Sometimes it actually doesn't have the best message as far as honesty when it comes to your schoolwork, but you know, you can forgive that because it's just a lighthearted, really light movie. Next is The Mating Game. This has Tony Randall and Paul Douglas. Another one that's just absolutely adorable, so sweet and cute, and really about the beauty of community and kindness, because Debbie Reynolds is one of several children, and her father, played by Paul Douglas, her mother is played by Una Merkel. They don't use money. They trade for everything they have, and they have a farm, and one day they are audited by the IRS, and the auditor is Tony Randall. And really, it's they get on the IRS's radar because of a neighbor who is angry with them because he's a big old grump. But Tony Randall and Debbie Reynolds become instantly smitten with each other, and it's just a really cute movie. And like I said, it's about the beauty of community, because everyone comes together for their family at the end of the movie. Next up, I have kind of a dark comedy. This is The Gazebo with Debbie Reynolds and Glenn Ford. Glenn Ford is really funny in this movie. He and Debbie Reynolds are married, and it's called The Gazebo because they build a gazebo in their backyard, and then it ends up being the site of something I'm not going to spoil in this movie, but I don't want to spoil the plot too much, but at one point there is someone is blackmailing the two of them, so they have to find out, or not find out, figure out how to deal with it. It is, yeah, like I said, it's like a dark comedy. It also has Carl Reiner in it. Who is the writer? I think this might be directed by George Marshall. Screenplay, okay, I thought maybe it was a different writer, but it is excellent, and if you like these two actors and dark comedies, check it out. Next up I have another one with Debbie Reynolds. This one has Frank Sinatra in it. It is called The Tender Trap. These two really are adorable together. Frank Sinatra's character, he plays the classic kind of playboy. He's never serious about anybody. And Debbie Reynolds is sort of the exact opposite. She's looking for someone serious and has a very, very specific plan about how she wants her life to go. And she sees Frank Sinatra and she's like, well, I want to go out with you. And she's very upfront about it. And he is just taken with her. But it takes a lot for him to leave his playboy ways behind. And it's really cute. It's romantic. I like the supporting actors in it. It has Celeste Holm in it. Carolyn Jones, David Wayne. A really, really fun movie. And Frank Sinatra sings the song The Tender Trap in it, which is really great. Next up I have, this is one that I got from that estate sale. This is a 2-pack of 2 Frank Sinatra movies, which I have not seen, but Frank Sinatra is such a great actor, so I wanted to get this. This has The Man with a Golden Arm and Suddenly. Like I said, I haven't watched these yet, but I really look forward to watching them. Next, I have another Frank Sinatra set. This one is a real mix of the different types of movies he made. It has Guys and Dolls, A Hole in the Head, The Manchurian Candidate, and Sergeant 3. I haven't watched Guys and Dolls in a long time, and I do think that Marlon Brando is very miscast in the movie. But everyone else, including Frank Sinatra and Gene Simmons, are fantastic in the movie. I need to watch it again, though, but it is fun. A Hole in the Head is a Frank Capra movie. I saw it a really long time ago. It was very sweet, but I'm due for a rewatch. The Manchurian Candidate is one of Sinatra's best dramatic performances. It is absolutely chilling. It is about a Korean War GI who, like it says, uncovers a plot orchestrated by a woman played by Angela Lansbury, and is about people who have been brainwashed. So it's, like I said, it is chilling, and the acting in this is incredible, and Sinatra really shows that he is a good dramatic actor and not just a charming singer and dancer. He is a really good dramatic actor. And Sergeant 3 is like a Rat Pack movie. It has Sinatra and Dean Martin, Peter Lawford. This is one I haven't watched yet, but because I absolutely love the Rat Pack. I love Ocean's 11, even though I don't own that one yet. So I'm sure I will enjoy this movie. Next up I have, this is just a random comedy I have. This is called The Wackiest Ship in the Army. It has Jack Lemmon and Ricky Nelson. Another one I haven't watched in a long time, but I remember it being really, really fun and wacky indeed. Next up I have, this is the Billy Wilder DVD collection. This has Stalag 17, Sunset Boulevard, and Sabrina. I will take those. I will show you. Born Yesterday. Believe it or not, I have not seen this entire movie, even though it's so famous and I know I will love it. It is one of my big blind spots that I am going to remedy this year because I love William Holden. I absolutely love Judy Holliday. She won an Oscar for this movie, so I need to watch this movie really soon. And then I will show you Stalag 17. A tremendous, wonderful poignant wartime movie. It is about men in a prisoner of war camp, and absolutely compelling. It has some comedic moments, but it really is more of a drama, and I really love this movie. And I will show you Sabrina. I actually have 2 copies of this movie because I bought it individually before I bought this set. And I have a whole Audrey Hepburn section that I will show you. But this is one of my favorite movies with Audrey Hepburn and William Holden and Humphrey Bogart. Just adorable, so sweet, so romantic. Even though the chemistry with William Holden and Audrey Hepburn is a little bit better than hers with Humphrey Bogart, I do still love the movie. Audrey Hepburn was so exquisite, and especially in this movie, her costumes are divine. She is just one of the most luminous, beautiful actresses to ever grace the screen, and she was a beautiful person inside and out, and it really shines through in this movie. Moving on, speaking of Audrey Hepburn, I'm going to show all of my Audrey Hepburn movies. First, I have Roman Holiday. This was her first movie. She is so sweet and beautiful in this part as a runaway princess. Gregory Peck is incredible in this part as well. The 2 of them together on screen were so magical, and this is romantic and a little sad and just one of those perfect movies. Audrey Hepburn won Best Actress. Gregory Peck very intelligently and kindly said that Audrey Hepburn's name needed to be above the title along with his. And he was so right. And that just was such a wonderful gesture that she never forgot. And I love this movie. I'm glad I have the DVD, but I do hope to get a Blu-ray of this movie soon because it is one of my favorites. Next up, like I already have Sabrina on DVD. I already told you. This is a wonderful, wonderful movie. Next, I have Breakfast at Tiffany's. This is a Blu-ray edition of it. This is one of my favorite Audrey Hepburn movies. Probably tied with Roman Holiday for my favorite. There is one blemish on this movie, and that is Mickey Rooney's part in it. It is not politically correct, to say the least. It is actually a little offensive. But if he's a very small part of the movie, and the rest of the movie is perfect, in my opinion. Audrey Hepburn is wonderful as the very lost and lonely, sweet Holly Golightly, and I love George Peppard in his role as well. They have wonderful chemistry. It's funny to me, though, that this movie is marketed strictly as a romantic comedy, when it definitely is funny in some parts, but it has lots of darker undertones and sad moments. So I call it more of a drama, personally, or just a romance. The fashion in this movie is impeccable. All of her costumes by Givenchy are so stylish and beautiful and gorgeous. And this movie is just iconic. I also love the score by Henry Mancini and the song Moon River, which won an Academy Award. It is one of my all-time favorite songs. Next up, I have Funny Face. This is an adorable musical with Fred Astaire. Another one where the fashion in this movie is simply glorious because she plays a woman who becomes a fashion model, even though she thinks she is awkward and has a funny face, which is hilarious to me because Audrey Hepburn is one of the most beautiful women to ever live. But in context of the movie, it does work. Even though Fred Astaire is quite a bit older, they are wonderful together. This is a movie directed by Stanley Donen, and he does a fantastic job. Such great music. It's so fun, so colorful. I adore this movie. Next up is Charade with Cary Grant. This is one of my favorite thriller films because it has touches of comedy thrown in there. This one is also directed by Stanley Donen. Cary Grant and Audrey Hepburn together are amazing. They are so great together. They have such great chemistry. The movie has such humor, but also great twists and turns and darker moments. If you haven't seen this movie, you really need to. I'm so glad I have a Blu-ray of it. This is another one with quite a bit of age gap, and what's interesting is Cary Grant, being a gentleman, said that the only way he would do this movie would be if she was the one doing the romantic pursuing, because that's the only way he thought it was okay, which I think is a sweet a thought on his part. Even though it's not like Audrey Hepburn is extremely young, you know, she's in her mid-30s by this point, even probably close to 40 years old. So it works in this movie. It's fantastic. My last Audrey Hepburn movie is one of her littler, more obscure movies. It's called Green Mansions. It has Anthony Perkins. It is kind of kind of a weird movie, but for some reason I really like it. She plays a girl who lives in the woods, and Anthony Perkins comes across her as he is escaping another country. And one interesting fun fact is Audrey Hepburn's character has like a pet deer in the movie. And Audrey Hepburn fell in love with this little deer that she basically adopted it in real life. She formed such a bond with it. It's, you know, it's not her greatest movie, but I enjoy it. It's romantic. It's very lovely. She's very sweet in it. I like Anthony Perkins in this part as well. It's nice to see him in a sweeter, more romantic kind of role when everybody just knows him from the movie Psycho. Next up is all my Doris Day movies, starting out with It Happened to Jane. This has Jack Lemmon and Ernie Kovacs in it. One that it is absolutely adorable. So, such Americana and small town charm in this movie. Doris Day plays a single mother who runs a lobster company, and one day the railroad does not, it shuts down, and because of it, cannot make her lobster deliveries, so she loses money. So because, you know, she relies on that income, she basically goes to war with this railroad company. And the joke in the movie is that she is taken on the meanest man in the world, because Ernie Kovacs in the movie is very, very mean. Jack Lemmon is her best friend, and the two of them definitely have great romantic chemistry in this movie. But another a man played by Steve Forrest starts to come into the picture, and obviously that threatens Jack Lemmon. This movie is adorable. Her kids are cute. Jack Lemmon showcases what an amazing runner he is. He runs so fast in quite a few scenes. This movie is sort of like a Norman Rockwell painting come to life. Next we have Please Don't Eat the Daisies, another really adorable, cute movie. This one has David Niven, Janice Page, Spring Byington, and Richard Hayden. Just one of those, just a cute family movie. David Niven is is he a playwright? Drama critic, and spends a lot of time in New York while and away from her. So she begins to become jealous of someone, though unwarranted slightly. She becomes jealous of Janice Page. But it's an adorable movie. I really love it. Next I have Tea for Two. I think this was the first movie that Doris Day and Gordon MacRae made together. They made several movies together for a good reason, because they have the sweetest chemistry on screen. This one is a cute musical. It also has Aziza Call, who is one of those adorable actors. This one also has Gene Raymond in it, and he's an amazing dancer. This is just Doris Day is just adorable in this movie. It's just one of those ones that makes you feel good. Next up I have The Tunnel of Love. This one has Richard Widmark and Gig Young. And it's interesting, this movie is actually directed by Gene Kelly. And yes, he did movie directing. He wasn't just an actor. And this movie is about a couple who want to have a child. They think about adoption. But Richard Widmark is kind of having a midlife crisis, and it goes off in really funny, unpredictable directions. But it's not Doris Day's greatest, but I did an article going through her filmography last year, and I wanted to watch all of her movies. This one was a little bit lower, but it was still a nice movie. Next up I have Move Over Darling. This one is hilarious, zany, madcap, really fun, adorable 60s comedy. This is actually a remake of My Favorite Wife that had Cary Grant and Irene Dunne. This one has James Garner in it, as well as Thelma Ritter. It's the exact same plot of My Favorite Wife. James Garner thought Doris Day had died, but she actually had been living on an island for many years, and then she is rescued and comes home, and romantic entanglements ensue. This one, I would say this one is funnier than My Favorite Wife and has that great 60s flair to it. Just really, really cute, and James Garner and Doris Day are great together. And speaking of the two of them, my favorite movie with the two of them is The Thrill of It All. They are a married couple, and he is a doctor. She is a homemaker, and they have two adorable children. One of their children, she played Gretel in The Sound of Music. This is right before that, and she is the cutest thing ever. And Doris Day becomes a spokesperson for the Happy Soap Happy Soap Company, and she does television commercials and becomes famous. So they have to deal with lots of shenanigans, her rise to fame. Like I said, the kids in this movie are really cute. There's a funny scene where the soap actually dumps into their pool, and there's soap suds everywhere. It's just zany and silly, and again, very, very 60s, and I love this one. Next up I have, this is a special Doris Day set. This is the Doris Day Collection Volume 2. This movie has Romance on the High Seas, which is her favorite, her first movie. My Dream is Yours, I'll See You in My Dreams, On Moonlight Bay, By the Light of the Silvery Moon, and Lucky Me. Honestly, I have not watched every single one in this set, but I will take out the ones that I have watched. There is On Moonlight Bay, which is another movie with Gordon McRae. A sweet turn-of-the-century, charming little musical. It definitely reminds me of, like, Meet Me in St. Louis, that sort of feel. The two of them play a young couple who fall in love, and they sing little songs together. It's cute because she was very much kind of a tomboy, but when she meets him, she tries to be more feminine, but she struggles with it, but he loves her for exactly the way she is. And again, great, adorable songs. Her little brother in it, played by, what is his name? Billy something. I hate that I can't remember his name, but he was on Father Knows Best. He is really cute in this movie. Has lots of funny scenes and funny moments in this movie and the sequel, which I will show you in a second. But this movie, it's nice to watch it. These movies are nice to watch at Christmas time because they have some Christmas moments in them. Speaking of By the Light of the Silvery Moon, I like this one even better. It's the sequel. It takes place It starts at Thanksgiving and then goes into the Christmas season. This one, in the first one, he goes off to war, and in this one, he returns home, and they want to get married, but he wants to make sure he has enough money to support her first. So there's some romantic entanglements, and there is something with Doris Day's father, played by Leon Ames. They are afraid he is having a romantic liaison with a French woman, and he's not. It's just a misunderstanding, but it's really funny. It's just such a cozy, sweet-natured movie. There is a scene at the end of the movie where they are all take a sleigh ride and then they go ice skating. It's adorable. It's one of the cutest movies you will ever see. Next, I have Romance on the High Seas. And like I said, this is Doris Day's first movie, and you could see right away what a beautiful presence she had. She has such an incredible voice. Doris Day is one of my favorite actresses, and she is adorable in this movie. So is Jack Carson. They have great chemistry together. The premise of this movie is actually really funny. Don DeFore is afraid his wife, Janice Page, is unfaithful to him. So he hires Jack Carson to spy on her when she goes on a cruise alone. But Janice Page is afraid that he is being unfaithful to her, so she actually doesn't go on the cruise. She sends Doris Day in her place, pretending to be her. And it's so funny and hilarious, really romantic, great music, and I just love this movie. Now, the other movies I actually haven't watched, but I will show you them. This one is called I'll See You in My Dreams. That's with Danny Thomas. The next one is Lucky Me. This one has Robert Cummings and Phil Silvers. And the last one is My Dream Is Yours. Now, even though I haven't watched them, I have seen, bits and pieces of them. I just haven't watched them all the way through. And given that Doris Day is one of my favorite actresses, I really need to watch these. Next, I have Midnight Lace. This is one of Doris Day's non-comedies. It is a psychological thriller. It co-stars Rex Harrison and Myrna Loy. Doris Day is a wealthy woman newly married to Rex Harrison. They are living in England. And one day walking home in the fog, she hears this chilling, frightening voice talking to her, threatening her life. And she runs home terrified. And then she begins to receive phone calls from the same person. The problem is she is the only one who ever is around when this is happening. So they are doubting whether she's actually being terrorized, but she actually is. And this goes in really chilling directions. And Doris Day gives an incredible performance. It is one of her best performances. The one sad behind the scenes fact about it is, though, she got so into some of the moments where she is breaking down. She herself kind of broke down in reality. So she said she didn't want to make movies like this again after it because of the emotional toll it put on her. But, for better, for worse, she is incredible in this movie, and it is a great one. I love to watch this movie during the Halloween season because I like to watch chilling sort of psychological movies. And lastly, I have the Doris Day Rock Hudson Romance Collection. This includes the 3 movies that the 3 actors made together. They were one of the most famous romantic comedy duos in movie history for good reason. I wish they had made more movies together, but I am happy they made the ones they did. They had such incredible chemistry. Famously, they were like best friends in real life. Doris Day is just delightful in all these movies, and so is Rock Hudson. So handsome, so charming. The two of them together really make comedy gold. I'm going to open this up to show it to you because it is a really nice set. So you can see, this is the set, and it has, isn't that adorable? That is from Pillow Talk. So yes, it has Pillow Talk, Send Me No Flowers and Lover Come Back. Let's see, twist that around. Well, that's good enough, you can see. And what's neat is it also comes with a CD. And it has some of Doris Day's most famous songs: Secret Love, Lover Come Back, High Hopes, Send Me No Flowers, Pillow Talk, Pretty Baby, Making Whoopee, and Whatever Will Be, Que Sera Sera. And that is such a nice addition to this set. Like I said, it has Pillow Talk. That is probably my favorite of the three. That is about two people who share a party line. And Rock Hudson is very much a playboy, and she is completely exasperated with him. Hates how much he monopolizes the party line with his other girlfriends. But then she meets him in real life, and he realizes who she is and pretends to be someone else because he is just completely smitten with her. And then, of course, when she finds out, she gets mad. But it is a really funny movie, and Lover Come Back is another one where he's pretending to be someone else. He gives a southern accent. He pretends to be very sweet and innocent. But it is adorable. And Send Me No Flowers is another one. It's really cute. I like this one because they are married in this one. And Rock Hudson's character is a hypochondriac. And one day he gets incorrect information from his doctor and thinks that he is dying. So he wants to make sure Doris Day is taken care of, so he's trying to find her a new husband. And she doesn't realize what he's doing, so she misunderstands everything. And this one is so funny. Tony Randall is also in these movies and is such a great a comedic addition to all of these movies. And I just love them, and that is the back of the set. The two of them are just so cute together. I can't say enough good things about them because they are just simply iconic. Next up, I have some comedy movies. These are mostly with Sandra Dee, starting out with probably the quintessential Sandra Dee movie. This is Gidget. This is actually the Gidget collection. So the first Gidget movie has Sandra Dee and James Darren, and it is the best Gidget movie. Just so 60s and adorable and cute. She was just so adorable on screen. And I love James Darren as well. He was so handsome, had a wonderful voice. And he is, in Gidget, he plays a character named Moondoggie, which is really cute. Some people only know the Gidget TV show, but I love the Gidget movies. The other two movies have Gidget Goes Hawaiian and Gidget Goes to Rome. Each movie, a different actress is playing Gidget, actually. In Gidget Goes Hawaiian, it is Deborah Wally, and in Gidget Goes to Rome, it is Cindy Carroll. So my favorite is the first one, then Gidget Goes Hawaiian, then Gidget Goes to Rome. But all three of them are adorable. James Darren plays Moondoggie in all three of them. They are so cute. Kind of old-fashioned sometimes with some of the mentalities of things, but I love them. I love their charm, and they really took advantage of the craze at this time period of surfing and surf culture, and I really love them. The only thing I don't like about this set is that the movies are in full screen and not showing their proper widescreen format. So I do hope to get this on Blu-ray because I believe they are shown in their proper aspect ratio on Blu-ray. Next, I have this 3-movie set. This has the Tammy movies. The first one has Debbie Reynolds and Leslie Nielsen, and that one's super cute. And the other two movies, Tammy Tell Me True and Tammy and the Doctor, have Sandra Dee. The second one has John Gavin, and the last one has Peter Fonda. They're all so cute. Tammy, the character Tammy, is the girl who lives on the river with her grandfather. She's uneducated, but she has a different kind of intelligence. She's just very naive and sweet, and doesn't know when to be quiet sometimes, but all for the better. She just likes to go on, and adorably so. And in the first movie, Leslie Nielsen is a pilot who crashes, and she nurses him back to health, and the two fall in love. In the second movie, Leslie Nielsen's character sort of fades away, and she decides she wants to go to college, and John Gavin plays a teacher, and the two of them have like some romantic chemistry. And in the third movie, a woman she meets in the second movie needs some medical attention, so she goes to Los Angeles, and then she meets a doctor played by Peter Fonda. They're all adorable. Again, all these movies have that definite 60s flair of the time that they were made, and that's what makes them cute to me. They're very much comfort movies. My favorite is actually Tammy, Tell Me True. I just think that has the sweetest story of the three movies. Next up I have If a Man Answers. This is one of the few movies that she made with her then husband, Bobby Darin. I really want to get Come September, which is the movie that they met on, and that movie has Rock Hudson in it. But these movies they made after they were married, and they're just adorable, so cute. Again, so 60s. They are a married couple in this movie. It also has Stephanie Powers and Cesar Romero. It has all the fashion and flair and dialogue that you expect from a movie of this era. But that's what makes it cute. And the two of them really, because they were married in real life, they obviously have wonderful chemistry together on screen. And Bobby Darin, you know, in addition to being an amazing singer, he was just so adorable on screen, and I love the two of them together. And I also have their other movie that they made, That Funny Feeling. This is actually the most recent purchase of mine. I bought it without seeing it, but I loved it. I thought it was so cute. If a Man Answers is the better of the two movies, but this one is cute too. The premise of this is very funny. Sandra Dee plays a maid, and she actually cleans Bobby Darin's apartment, but she doesn't know whose apartment it is, and the two meet. And because she is embarrassed to bring him back to her actual little apartment, she takes him to his, because she knows he's supposed to be actually out of town when he changes his plans, but she thinks he's going to be out of town, and she has a key to his apartment because she's his maid. So he gets there, and of course he's confused, and you know, hilarity ensues, and it's super cute. I like this movie a lot. Here we have some more comedies and dramas. This one is called The More the Merrier. This is a very cute romantic comedy starring Jean Arthur, Joel McCrea, and Charles Coburn. This was made in the 40s. It takes place during a housing shortage. And Jean Arthur, because she's a good citizen, she wants to share her apartment with people. So she decides to let Charles Coburn share her apartment with her and share the rent. But then Charles Coburn brings on Joel McCrea without her permission. And hilarity ensues, and lots of romance as well. It's very, very cute, very funny. These two have wonderful, wonderful chemistry together. Joel McCrea is such an underrated actor, and the two of them have one of the sweetest and even sexiest scene ever on screen, and it's literally just the two of them sitting on some stairs and talking to each other, and it's really swoon-worthy. And I think Charles Coburn won an Oscar for this. Let's see. And yeah, winning for Best Supporting Actor. Yeah, and he deserved it. He was fantastic. Next is another one with Jean Arthur and Charles Coburn. This is called The Devil and Miss Jones. It also has Robert Cummings, Edmund Gwenn, and Spring Byington. This is sweet because it's sort of like, if anyone remembers that TV show Undercover Boss, this is basically that premise. Charles Coburn goes undercover at one of his stores just to see why his employees feel the way they do. And he learns a lot from everyone that works there, especially Jean Arthur's character and Robert Cummings' character, who are a couple. It's very sweet. Jean Arthur's character is one of those, you know, takes care of everybody except herself a lot of the time, and I really love this one. Next is Apartment for Peggy. This has Jeannie Crane, William Holden, and Edmund Gwenn. And these two play a couple who they move into an apartment, and they help their neighbor basically remember why life is worth living. It's a comedy and a drama combo, romantic, but I've only seen it once, so I really need to rewatch this because I don't remember the rest of it. Next up is The Farmer's Daughter. This has Loretta Young, Joseph Cotton, and Ethel Barrymore. Another really cute movie. Loretta Young is really sweet in it. She plays a farmer's daughter who becomes a politician, and she basically wows everyone, including Joseph Cotton, with her feistiness and intelligence, and this is just a really cute movie. Next I have The Women. This is famous because it has a cast entirely comprised of women. There's not a single man anywhere to be seen, and that is really cool, especially for back in the 30s. It has Norma Shear, Joan Crawford, Rosalind Russell. It definitely has, you know, some cattiness amongst them, but also friendship. This was remade in the, I think, early 2000s, but this version is the superior one. Then we have George Washington Slept Here. This gives very much Mr. Blanding's Built His Dream House and the Money Pit vibes. Jack Benny and Ann Sheridan buy an old colonial house, but it ends up being, like I said, a money pit, all dilapidated, and everything's wrong with it. And Jack Benny, like his persona, is notoriously cheap, but this movie's really funny. Then we have, this one's called Confidentially Connie. It has Van Johnson, Janet Leigh, and Louis Calhern. It's just a cute, lighthearted, kind of silly little movie. The plot is a little ridiculous. They are a couple. She finds out she's pregnant. She is told she needs more red meat and protein in her diet. But because Van Johnson is just a teacher, he doesn't make very much money. So she enlists her father to help with that. Lots of hijinks, just really cute. Then we have another one with Van Johnson. It's called Three Guys Named Mike. It also has Jane Wyman, Howard Keel, and Barry Sullivan. This is such a fun, romantic, energetic movie. It's one of my favorites. Jane Wyman is an airline attendant, very enthusiastic, very caring, very sweet. And she meets 3 different guys named Mike, and she likes all of them. So they're all basically competing for her affection. Van Johnson is a scientist and teacher. Howard Keel is a pilot that she meets on her first flight. And Barry Sullivan is in advertising. It's really funny. It's like a cute screwball comedy. What's interesting is that this is a movie that came in like public domain, so there are a lot of prints of it out there. But thankfully, this DVD was digitally remastered, and it's a good print of it. Next up is another one, Van Johnson. He is absolutely one of my favorite actors. Such an underrated actor because he can do comedy, musical, drama, wartime movie. In this case, it is a drama. It also has Dorothy McGuire and Ruth Roman. Dorothy McGuire plays, it's funny, she's a beautiful actress, but she's considered a little more plain by comparison to other women. And she's also kind of ill a lot of the time. So her father actually pays Van Johnson to marry her to make her life happy. But he ends up developing real feelings for her. Kind of sounds like fan fiction if you think about it. But it's a very touching movie, and I really love it. Next up is another great screwball comedy. This one's called Ball of Fire. It has Gary Cooper and Barbara Stanwyck. She is a, like, I don't want to call her a stripper, but sort of the closest thing to it, and a dancer. Her boyfriend, played by Dana Andrews, is like a mobster, and she wants to testify against him, but she's afraid of him. So she goes and hides out at this home where Gary Cooper and a bunch of other scientists are writing a book about grammar and manners and all that sort of thing. So it's really like a combination of rom-com, screwball comedy, all this sort of thing. And she really clashes with all of them, especially Gary Cooper. She and him are the exact opposite, but that's what makes it cute. It's very funny seeing how tiny she is compared to him. It says, yeah, it's a delightful twist on Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. It is kind of, because all the scientists are kind of like the dwarves a little bit, and it's such a cute movie. Next up is one with John Wayne and Claudette Colbert. It's called Without Reservations. She is a writer, and one of her books is going to become a movie, and she meets John Wayne on a train ride and thinks he would be perfect in the part of her leading man, except he thinks her books are silly and ridiculous, and you could guess what happens next. This is one of my favorite movies with John Wayne. It's funny, a lot of the movies I like with him, even though I do love his westerns, a lot of my favorites end up being not his westerns, so like comedies and romances and stuff, including this one. Next up, another one with John Wayne. This one's really sweet. It's called Trouble Along the Way. It has Donna Reed and Charles Coburn. He is a football coach, and he wants to prove that he can be not only a good coach, but a good father and provide for his daughter. And he becomes coach of a little a college, and it's just a very sweet movie. Next up is a favorite with Hayley Mills and Rosalind Russell. It's called The Trouble with Angels. This is one of her first movies that she made past working with Disney. Hayley Mills plays a student at a Catholic school, but she's kind of like a troublemaker. Not a bad kid, but very precocious and doesn't want to always follow the rules. Rosalind Russell is the Mother Superior. It's very funny and zany, but also has quite a few moments that are quite touching and poignant, and it has a very moving ending. Next up, an all-time favorite. This is Yours, Mine, and Ours. This stars Lucille Ball and Henry Fonda. It's actually based on a real story of these two families. They are both, she's a widow and he's a widower, and they both have very large families. And when they meet, they think it's somewhat ridiculous to combine these two families, but they can't help but fall in love with each other. So this was really, the Brady Bunch was really, and took inspiration from this movie. It's very cute and lots of slapstick and laugh out loud humor. It's one I like to quote all the time. It also has Van Johnson in it as well. I'm a big fan of Lucille Ball, and this is probably one of my favorite movies with her that she didn't star in with Desi. And it's just, and it's adorable movie. There's Christmas in it. It's just so fun. Next up, another movie with Lucille Ball, and this is one with Desi Arnaz. This is my favorite movie with them, and just one of my all-time favorite movies. It is another one I have a movie poster for, but it is not this image, because this one's kind of silly. It is called The Long Long Trailer. They made it at the height of their I Love Lucy fame. It is hilarious. Such a wonderful, it's called A Wonderful Slap Happy Farce. Yeah, screwball comedy, romantic comedy. They are newlyweds, and they buy a very large trailer and end up spending so much money and having so many mishaps. It is a laugh out loud from start to finish, and also very sweet. These two were, magic together on screen, and it's fun to see, if you're an I Love Lucy fan, it's fun to see a movie with them in bright, vivid color. The costumes are great that they put her in, in her red hair. And it's just so fun and funny. Next up is another movie that they made together. This one is called Forever Darling. I haven't seen this one nearly as much, and it's not as good as the Long Run trailer, but it is very sweet. It also stars James Mason. I am definitely due for a rewatch of this movie. Next up is a movie with Errol Flynn and Eleanor Parker. It's called Never Say Goodbye. This is one I like to watch around Christmas time because it has a few scenes that take place during Christmas. Errol Flynn actually dresses up like Santa Claus, in addition to another character, and he does that famous Marx Brothers mirror routine with the other man dressed like Santa, and it's really funny. But this is kind of like a Parent Trap, sort of. They are divorced. They have a young daughter, and she wants them to get back together. But lots of things get in the way. But Errol Flynn is very charming in this movie. Eleanor Parker is so beautiful, and the little girl is just a precocious a bundle of joy. So cute, and I really love this movie. Next up is another one with Errol Flynn. This one is called Footsteps in the Dark. This is sort of like a mystery comedy. I've only watched it once, but there's like a mystery they're trying to solve, and I believe, is he he wants to be like a sleuth, but I think he's a writer. I don't quite remember, but I really enjoyed it. I really need to watch it again. Next up is another quintessential screwball comedy. It is My Man Godfrey with William Powell and Carole Lombard. These two together are really great on screen. Carole Lombard was just so effervescent and so beautiful and funny. She just had such a presence on screen, and so did William Powell. I really love this movie. She thinks she's doing him a favor by giving him a job with her very wealthy family, but that's actually not quite the case. But she's really ditzy and sweet, and he's exasperated, but it's such a sweet movie. Next up, this is a Turner Classic Movies collection. This is a Jean Harlow collection. This was a gift, so I have only seen Libeled Lady, and that's a great movie. I have seen a few minutes of Dinner at 8, but I haven't seen the whole thing, and I've not seen Wife vs. Secretary or China's Tease yet. I really need to, because Jean Harlow was such a luminous presence, and it was such a funny actress, and this is a really nice set. And then we have a collection of all the Thin Man movies with William Powell and Myrna Loy. They are just, this is such an iconic collection of films. Nick and Nora Charles and their dog, Asta. These are wonderful movies. Admittedly, I have only seen the first two Thin Man movies, but I know all of them are absolutely wonderful. Just, as I said, so iconic, so funny, great mysteries, and I love movies that combine, humor and mystery and things like that, and these are wonderful movies.